people think luxury is about buying things, but it's not. It all comes down to your habits and who you kind of are, right? So today I'm going to share 3 to 5 habits that I have created and also have learned from in the last year and a half, from the beginning of being a business owner, and I want to share them with you guys. Okay, so number 1 is having disciplined morning energy. I think it's so important the way that we wake up, the way that we go to sleep, and just like kind of how we carry ourselves throughout the day, right? So number 1, I used to always doom scroll. Everyone loves doom scrolling. I don't understand. I mean, I do understand that is the algorithm. That is what social media made us do, is to be doom scrollers and be such consumers, which is so crazy when you're the consumer, right? It does so much to your mental capacity, and it's so crazy. I remember when I did not have like a disciplined morning routine, and it was just so much. I was like, oh my gosh, why do I feel so miserable? Why do I feel so groggy? Why am I grumpy throughout my entire days? And I realized, you know what, let me try to cut back on watching social media in the morning. Oh my gosh, night and day difference. And if you have not tried it yet, or if you don't think that it affects you in any way, just give it a day. Give it 3 days, and I'm sure your life is going to turn around 360. As soon as you wake up, my routine now is putting a big glass of water and ice right next to my bed for in the morning. And when I wake up, I drink that. I don't look at anything, and I definitely do not doom scroll. So that would be the number 1 biggest thing. Also, here's another thing that like piggybacks off of that, is just like not starting your mornings in chaos. So another thing I used to do is like just wake up, you know, right before I'm about to leave the house. And why would anybody want to do that? Your brain is not awake, and now you're trying to jump in to going straight to work, talking to people, just doing all these tasks that we do in the day, right? But what about your time? So your time is obviously the most important thing. I mean, life just flies by, guys. And like every day, if you are not cultivating your time and making sure that you're putting yourself first, you're not able to do all these things. You're not able to show up in your most authentic self. You're not able to help other people, raise your kids, help your husband, your wife, your significant other, your friends, your family. You're not able to do that. And I don't care how convinced you are, oh, I can do all these other things for other people, and then I can do what I need last. Unfortunately, that is just not how we work. That's not how our systems work. You have to have a level of love, of self-care, in order to care for other people. And you know, it shows up in your life in so many ways when you don't take care of yourself, and people can tell. People will take advantage of you. They will use you. They will do all of these things that you're like, I cannot believe they do this to me because of what I do for them. Yeah, babe, it's because you don't show up for yourself. It's because you don't love yourself first. Unfortunately, that is what luxury is, and that's what people don't understand, is the reason that something is so luxurious, or people live a luxurious life, is because they create that. They're creators. They're not consumers, you know? They don't consume what everybody else is doing, what everyone else is eating, doing, consuming. They're not doing that. They're too busy creating. Okay, so habit number 2 is, it kind of just goes with habit number 1, is protecting your attention. So just as you protect your money, right? Just as you protect, you know, how many bills go out every month, how much you have to spend on your bills, you have to protect your peace. I know everyone kind of says like the same thing when it comes to that, but it's seriously the truth. If you are sitting there scrolling, if you're gossiping, if you're spending this time, and also if you're gossiping, like say you and your best friend, that's what you do. Is that all you guys have in common is to gossip? That's how you guys connect, is by gossiping? That is like a weird trauma bonding thing. You do realize that, right? So instead of gossiping, actually, I've told one of my best friends, I'm like, hey, I don't want to do this. Like, this is not me, this is not you, and I don't want to spend our time doing this. And she loved that I was just open, honest, and that is my truest self. Like, inside, I don't like doing that. I don't find it fulfilling. I don't find it time worthy. And we stopped doing that. And guess what? Do you think our relationship changed? No. Actually, it became way better because of this, because we're not relating on talking about people together. And you guys should definitely practice that too. That's what cultivates a luxurious life, is by holding your space, keeping your peace, and not needing to talk about other people, because what is the point in that? Like, okay, someone makes you mad. I totally get it. Venting is different than gossiping, you know? It truly is. But really, when you start to think, okay, instead of being such a consumer, instead of consuming all this gossip, all this social media, everything that my mom is telling me, everything that my sisters, my brothers, my family, my friends are telling me, that is being a consumer. You are consuming. Why don't you try creating? The more that you, like, our creator, God, created us to be such creators. It is so important for us to be doing things, even if that's planting plants, or if you're making stuff on social media, or if you're making food. You know, there's so many things. You guys can Google, like, okay, what are more things that I can do to help create? You have to get down to the nitty-gritty on what is going to fuel you, what is going to lift your cup and fill your cup. That's what's important here. Number 3 is your environments. Your environments are so important to you. This is probably, I would say, like one of the number one things. Why is it so important? Well, I'll tell you why. You wake up and your house is a mess. You're starting your day in chaos, right? You're starting your day serving other people. You're not serving yourself, because obviously your house is a mess. By you serving yourself, I promise you, your house will not be a mess. Your environment will start to change. By you putting things back, hanging your clothes again, putting your dishes away right away, cleaning your bathroom, putting away all of your product that you just used, instead of just leaving it out and running out the door to go to work, hang out with friends, whatever you're doing. Instead, you take 2 minutes to put away all of the stuff that you just used. You hang your towel, you put your products away, your makeup away. This is creating the environment that you need to cultivate this space that you're trying to create. This is what luxury is. Luxury is doing things at the highest ability that you're able to do. And that is how you have a luxurious life. Habit number 4 is commanding your presence. Everything that you do should foster this. I mean, seriously, there's times where I have a hard time. Obviously, everyone is going to have a hard time. But how do you deal with your hard times? What do you do? For me, my number one thing is turning to God. I am a big prayer warrior. I've always leaned on God. I will always lean on God. I think that, like, the enemy is always going to be out to get us, and how are you going to protect your peace? You know, if you're letting your environment be chaotic, if you're starting your day chaotic, if you are doom scrolling, if you're gossiping, how is any of those things helping you command your present and your space? The way that you're showing up right now is obviously not working, right? So, and I'm gonna tell you this, it is not gonna happen overnight. This type of stuff is built on discipline and self-love. And let me tell you right now, if you see that your environment is not the way that you want it, that's okay. That means that you don't have discipline and you're still working on self-love, right? Okay, great. So let's keep moving forward on it. And every single day, the more that you stack all these habits, these are habits. This is how you build a luxurious life. It's built on habits. It's not buying things and adding to the chaos. It's controlling the chaos. That's what it is. You have to be able to cultivate all these things that you already have. Okay, am I treating my clothes well? What do I mean by that? Am I just throwing my clothes all over the ground and not cleaning up and not putting them away? Am I just throwing, great, I bought all these clothes, but I don't even care for these clothes. I'm not sitting here making sure that I'm taking good care of them. I'm washing them properly. I'm hanging them up. All these makeup products and stuff that I got to make me look better and feel better. Okay, what am I doing with them? Am I putting them in a place? Am I making sure they look good just as much as they make me look good? Everything is a transaction, and once you start to realize that, this is when you start to build habits. This is when you start to create a luxurious life for yourself. So there's like this huge thing of like the soft life girl aesthetic, right? Which I love because, of course, like I've created my own businesses, so I totally get the hustle culture, and now bringing peace into my life, it's been a day and night difference. So, but I do want to say a soft life is earned, and it's not just given, and it's about being strategic with what you do in your life. And I think it's so important that instead of us just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna live a soft girl life, like that's what I want to do, that's fine, but just know that it is a strategic way to get there. You still have to cultivate this discipline within yourself and the self-love. It is so important as you go through life, because as your kids get older, as the years go by, this stuff is going to start to affect you if you don't take action now with trying to surrender to the idea of being disciplined and having self-love for yourself. You know, you want to work from intention and not exhaustion. Like, you don't want to go do your 9 to 5, waking up 10 minutes beforehand, scrolling all day, gossiping with your coworkers, coming home, scrolling all night, not eating a good dinner, and then going to bed and doing the same routine. I can only imagine what that does to your mental health. And trust me, I was there at one point, and I remember how I used to feel. I felt I had depression, I was anxious, I had anxiety. Oh, another thing, I don't drink coffee anymore. Personally, it's not for me. Coffee causes your cortisol levels to spike, which causes anxiety. I switched over to matcha, which obviously matcha is like a huge thing right now, but matcha is, if you do the research on it, is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. It has L-theanine in it, which causes you to not have anxiety. It's like an anxiety releaser. Ever since I switched to having matcha in the morning, oh my gosh, it is a night and day difference. And I truly, truly pray that all of you really do find stuff that you can start changing in your life that will also help you. And that is why I'm here, is to help you on your journey to business, life, and God. And just know that luxury is built off of habits, consistency, and discipline. And it takes time. You know, I started my business a year and a half ago, and I'm now starting my YouTube channel a year and a half later, because I feel confident in who I am and the advice that I'm able to give. So thank you for watching. I hope these tips help you. If so, you know, do your thing. Subscribe, don't subscribe, but I will be back with more content. Bye, guys.